morning viewers, you're watching NewsX and I'm Simran. High stakes voting begins in Wayanad where a three-way contest marks Priyanka Gandhi's electoral debut as she aims to retain Congress's stronghold, once held by Rahul Gandhi, and increase the victory margin by her brother Rahul Gandhi, secured in the past two Lok Sabha elections. A total of 16 candidates are vying for the support of 14 lakh votes in Wayanad Lok Sabha constituency. The big question is, will Priyanka emerge victorious in the Congress bastion constituency, or will BJP set a new trend? All right, let's take a quick look over what in fact now constitutes as a fact of the Wayanad Lok Sabha constituency. There are in fact a history of events that has happened in Wayanad, which makes it very special when in fact this is going for the bypolls. Now, the first fact about Wayanad, which in fact makes it very historic and also creates a lot of history in the terms of how it came into being, is that in the ancient time, Wayanad was ruled by the Rajas of the Vedas tribe. It in fact began from that time, that it was during the Vedas time when it was ruled, and it was then in 1750s, viewers, that Wayanad came under the rule of the Pasazi Rajas of the Kottayam royal dynasty. It was in the year 1750 when the Wayanad's leadership in fact changed after the royal dynasty came into being. It was then in the year of 1773 when Hyder Ali became the ruler of Wayanad, and he invaded Wayanad and brought it under its control. 1773, Hyder Ali took over Wayanad and it was then ruled by the Mughal ruler. 18th century, Tipu Sultan gave the Malabar region to the British, who opened the plateau for the cultivation of tea and other cash crops. And that exactly how the latest and the most occupational profession of Wayanad also was established, tea and the paddy fields. Wayanad district was formed on the 1st November 1980. Then it was a century later that the district came into being. The establishment was set in the year 1980. It was the 12th district of Kerala. District was created by merging north and the south Wayanad regions and previously parts of Kozhikode and Kannur district. North and south parts were in fact merged together, and a district which was the 12th district in Kerala was created. The name Wayanad originated from the term Vayal-Nadu, which means that the land of paddy fields, the land of cultivation for tea and paddy, where in fact the existence and the meaning of the land from the Wayanad happened. The district's economy largely was based on the agriculture occupation, which it continues to be, as there are in fact farms and lands for cultivation, which is for the 85% of the population that the district is in fact now under the occupation of paddy. Now, the Wayanad district has the highest number of the tribals in Kerala. When we talk about Kerala specifically, the Wayanad constituency and the district has the highest population and the influx of the tribals. They majorly rely upon the agriculture to in fact sustain the living. Wayanad is also home to India's largest earthen dam, the Banasura Sagar. And now when we talk about some stats starting from how Wayanad stands from today. This is what you have seen in the history, but when we talk about the numbers and what they in fact speak within, Wayanad has a total population as per the 211 census over 8 lakh. And here the female population surpasses the male population in this district, and we also are aware of the fact that there are largely tribals dominated in the area, 85% of them. The female population exceeds the male population by 15,000 margin, and 4,15,736 is the number that roughly we have been given as per the 2011 census. That in fact constitutes as the population. Now, when we talk about the demography and how the district is divided into different religions and of people of different faith. There are nearly 50% of Hindus there. When we talk about Muslims, nearly 30% of Muslims, and Christians are nearly 22%, while there is the total voting population that constitutes to nearly 15 lakhs, but the exact number is 14.6 lakhs eligible voters in Wayanad. The area of the Wayanad district, which is demographically expanded for the people to have settled in and also used as a very, in fact, extended area for cultivation, is nearly 885.92 square kilometer. This area has the total size of the Wayanad covered, which has 4 blocks, 49 villages, 3 municipalities and 23 gram panchayats. That's how, in fact, it is divided into different leaderships as per the block and per the settlement of the villages ever it came into being. The literacy rate, which in fact Kerala largely holds the highest for, is 89.03% alone in Wayanad. Wayanad has one of the highest rates of literacy in Kerala, and 89.03% is what we are given. The employment rate is not that high as compared to the literacy rate, but 16% is the number that we are given here. While the land and the region of the Wayanad pertinently cultivates for the spice cultivation, which is the main occupation. The agriculture which we talked about and spice cultivation is largely the main source of income. There are number of schools, and when we talk about number of colleges and number of hospitals, all this infrastructure, strength and capability of the district, nearly 301 schools, and there are hospitals which we are 64 given in the number, and there are 45 colleges. These are in fact also for a junior and a senior level, given that the district is also reeling under the impact of devastation that has just happened months back. Now, when we talk about the history of political leadership in Wayanad over 15 past years, what we have is roughly the kind of wins and the losses that have happened over the past 15 years. And when we start from the year 29, that's 2009 Lok Sabha elections result, that resulted in the favor of Congress on the candidature of M.I. Shanawaz, who in fact won with a whooping margin of nearly 1.5 lakhs against CPI's M. Ramatullah, that we can understand. And when we talk about 5 years later to 2014 Lok Sabha, where in fact it was also reinstated, but with not a lot of margin when we talk about Congress versus CPIM, where M.I. Shanawaz in fact was pitted against Satyam Mukherjee, who won with a voting percentage of 41.21%, but the next leg came especially in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, when Rahul Gandhi decided to contest the Wayanad Bypolls and won with a good majority of 4.3 lakh vote against CPIM's PP Sunil. In fact, Rahul Gandhi established the benchmark, and the voting percentage, the voting share by which the victory was achieved was 64.94%. That was Rahul Gandhi's win, established in Wayanad, which in fact also reinstated the belief of the voters in Congress by a large margin. And in the next year, when Annie Raja was also contesting from the opposition party in Wayanad against Rahul Gandhi, the same win by Congress was then reinstated by a margin of 3.56 lakhs. Now, in fact, the number of the margin and the voting percentage might have decreased a bit in 2024, in 2020 Lok Sabha, but at the same time, when we talk about now, which is the seat being vacated after Rahul Gandhi has now been occupied by his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, which is her poll debut, pitted against BJP's Navya Haridas, who is the BJP's young face. This is roughly the kind of idea of the political leadership which Wayanad has seen over the years. This is a 15-year long history for Wayanad, which is largely and for a long time been heavily dominated by the Congress bastion. Now, when we talk about the voting trends to understand how exactly the minds of voters, the likes and dislikes of voters work for the favor of the political leadership in Wayanad, let's start with how in fact there are total electors. There are nearly 11 lakh electors in Wayanad in the 2009 Lok Sabha elections. What this exactly means is that the election turnout was 8.25 lakhs, and this voter turnout was in the 2009 Lok Sabha translated into 74.86%. The voter turnout in 2009 was 74, but when we talk about 2014 Lok Sabha election, the voter turnout decreased to 72%. But the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, where the total electors were 13 lakhs and 6,000, the voter turnout was indeed a lot higher, and in fact from the previous years, recording at 83.5%, where the total electors were translated into and came into the large numbers. This was also the year when a huge margin by Rahul Gandhi was instated by the Congress party in the Wayanad Bypolls. In the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, where last time Rahul Gandhi in fact also won with a good margin, 14,62,423 is the total number of the electors which we are given. The voting percentage was 73.7%, not that high as compared to 2019, when in fact Rahul Gandhi secured the win with a large margin. But what happens and what remains to be seen now in the 2024 Bypolls election is that what kind of a voting trend are we going to witness this time, and how exactly this is going to be now turning out for the sister of Rahul Gandhi, who has in fact made her poll debut in Wayanad. All right, viewers, let's straight go across to my colleague Belly Thomas, who has joined me live on the broadcast to share what is the mood on the ground and how exactly the people of Wayanad feeling in the morning when they come out of their homes to vote. Belly, very good morning to you. But what exactly is the mood in Wayanad, and how people are reacting to it? Are you near the polling booths where people have started queuing up to vote?
Very good morning, Simran. I am at present in front of the SKMJ school, which is a polling booth here in Kalpetta in Wayanad. And I'll ask my VJ to pan around and show the people are yet to, they are thronging, but there's no much crowd as of now as we speak. So you can see, the election officials there, waiting and helping out people who have already come here. And people are just thronging to the polling booth, but no much crowd is there. While I'm at present here with our former member of parliament from the Left Democratic Front and former MLA MV Shrems Kumar sir. Sir, very good morning. So did you cast your vote, sir?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And according to since you're from the political background, what do you have to say about the political turf here, sir?
This time I think people are going to vote for a change, because the past 5 years we have seen that we don't have a full-time MP. And this is a region which faces a lot of issues. It's basically an agrarian area, and of course it's part of the Western Ghats. Most of the constituency falls in that. And there are issues of man-animal conflict, natural disasters, and the issues faced by the farmers, a lot of things like that. So we need a full-time MP who's going to address these issues and be with the people and try and resolve their issues.
So when I went onto the ground, I happened to hear this, that the LOP, leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, had the people of Wayanad were thinking that he would not, he would retain Wayanad and he would sacrifice Raebareli. That's what they said. So they're kind of taken aback when this development happened. So what do you have to say about that?
See, this is a forced by-election for the people of Wayanad. But looking at the broader picture, like Rahul Gandhi is leader of the opposition, and he's one of the leaders of India Front. And representing the Hindi heartland is more important for Congress politics, though it is, has caused a lot of work on the people of this constituency. But politically, it makes sense for him to retain Raebareli than Kalpata. So that's the point we are trying to make. Like for them, Wayanad is not important. It's just for them, it was a safe constituency. So they just want to win and go from here. So let him fight his battle from UP. And the people of Wayanad need an MP who is going to address their issues.
Okay. Sir, what do you have to say about the BJP candidacy? Navya Haridas is aggressively campaigning for, for taking up issues.
See, even an independent candidate will be aggressive when they fight an election. This is a fight between LDF and UDF. BJP has no significant presence in Wayanad, and I don't think they're going to make any impact in this election.
Okay. So, how much vote share is going towards Satyan Mokeri, if I have to ask you?
Well, we hope that the majority will vote for him and he will be able to win and represent Wayanad as a member of parliament.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping for.
So, thank you so much for sharing that with us. So that's what you heard it from the ex-MP and the former MLA, MB Shreyas Kumar, who's saying that the political turf here is even the Communist Party of India. It's basically between LDF and UDF, and LDF is going to win, is what we gather at this point of time, Simran.
All right, Belly, I can hear, in fact, these strong voices coming with experience and with the kind of understanding of how people in Wayanad do cast their vote. I'll request you to kindly stay on with me on the broadcast, while I also have a guest joining me live on the broadcast. Varun Singh, political analyst, has joined me. And very good morning to you, sir. And I hope, in fact, you're watching the developments very closely of what's happening in Wayanad, as this is going to be a big day for the sister of Rahul Gandhi. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is facing first time the people of Wayanad, and her brother is campaigning in full force for her and has, in fact. But what essentially remains to be the sense for the kind of expectation the people of Wayanad, do you feel at this point of time, will hold? Given the kind of experiences that have happened in the past, as we have also heard from a political persona here, and who has in fact made it very clear that BJP has no significant presence in Wayanad, but when we talk about the direct contest, it is with the LDF and the UDF.
Good morning, Simran. So first of all, I don't, I would like to say a party which got 13% of the vote in the last elections that was held in 2024, the Bharatiya Janata Party. I don't think you can just rule it out saying that it doesn't have a significant presence. 13% is a huge number. But yes, I would reckon with the politician who was speaking over here, an ex-MP and a MLA, who said that the fight is between two of the main parties of the India Alliance, that is the CPI and the Congress right now. I wouldn't deny that. It also goes on to see, to be honest, I don't feel that there would be any change in the voting pattern. People are going to vote for Priyanka Gandhi. I'm from North, and I have seen it, how people in Amethi and Raebareli voted for the Gandhis only and only because they were the Gandhis and VIP seats. And that is the thing that I see even in Wayanad. And sadly to say that it is happening in the South, which wasn't this way for a very long time, that people would go only for a VIP face. But yes, after Rahul Gandhi entered Wayanad, it is clearly visible. And people are unhappy with him because he wouldn't visit over there. I don't know how much they are expecting from Priyanka Gandhi. Even during the latest landslide that occurred over there, it was clearly visible how the brother and sister were met with opposition by many of the people over there, the residents over there, for not being available on the time of need. So I don't know, probably the CPI people working on the ground would know better, and you never know when Rahul Gandhi could have lost Amethi last election. There is no, in our country where Indira Gandhi has lost election, Atal Bihari Vajpayee has lost elections, you never know who wins and who loses. But it also shows one important thing, that while there are elections in other part of the country also, it gives a message that the India Alliance is not united, because the biggest contestant against in INC's Priyanka Gandhi is from the CPI, who happens to be, a party that happens to be the biggest force in the India Alliance ideologically. Because if you see right now, the language that Rahul Gandhi speaks, is exactly the same that the left has been speaking for a very long time. And in spite of taking up their ideology, they are still fighting on a seat that is so important. That shows that there is no synthesis between both of these parties, and they are actually it goes on to show the split within the India Alliance, both ideologically, both leadership, and it will impact if the opposition in other states try to show it properly, where they are fighting, contesting elections together. For example, in Maharashtra, the CPI have been given 2 seats by the NVA Alliance, and in Jharkhand also they are fighting together. So if they go on to show it, it may impact in the future elections that are going to happen in the states. But Wayanad, I say right now, it is visible clearly that the Congress, with the support of the IUML and the support of the major Muslim population, especially if you see other seats in the Malappuram area also, if that you consider, it is a clear win for Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi's sister, to be very honest. I don't see any difference between both of them, because in spite of being such a huge district with more than 14,000 voters and so many congressmen over there, they couldn't find any suitable candidate, local candidate from Wayanad, and they had to get Priyanka Gandhi from Delhi, from the Gandhi family, who happens to be Rahul Gandhi's sister. Only she could contest and represent that seat. That also shows the irony of the dynastic politics that we have been seeing for such a long time.
Mr. Singh, all right, as you're making a very valid point here, with in fact putting it straight on the record that there is no difference when you see in the campaigning style of the Congress family, and especially after Rahul Gandhi has vacated the seat and it has become the maiden contest for Priyanka Gandhi. This has in fact become a very national subject for who gets to be the person in leadership in Wayanad. Also joining me on the broadcast is Kevin Matthew Sunny. I appreciate you joining me live on the broadcast. Thank you for speaking to us. As Mr. Singh has pointed out, that there is no visible difference in how the Congress largely campaigns in especially Kerala or even in Wayanad when we speak about, and how they have in fact performed in the previous days. But Mr. Matthew, do you feel that also, as opposed to what he is in fact pointing out, does the Congress, on the banks of the kind of popularity, the kind of affection that the Congress party and the kind of vote share they have garnered in the previous Lok Sabha contest, is going to help Priyanka Gandhi build her rapport with the voters and also gain a significant vote share and also gain that trust of the voters when we specifically talk in Wayanad?
See, Simran, Wayanad has always been a Congress bastion, to say. And that is not, it is not just for the AP. I would really disagree with Mr. Singh when the kind of points Singh was pushing. First thing, it is not an IUML bastion. IUML has very little impact in Wayanad. It has always been a Congress bastion because it is also associated with a lot of freedom struggle. So the history even comes with a lot of freedom struggle issues. So it was basically Tipu's bastion. So, and right from those freedom struggle periods, which probably Mr. Singh's people who are so supportive of the British, even though they now claim to be the nationalists, they wouldn't remember, or they wouldn't even want to remember that. But it has always been a very nationalistic and related. It has always been a Congress bastion. And you have seen that across the years, it has always been Congress candidates that have always been winning the Wayanad constituency. So this is the legacy there. And also one thing about Kerala is, yes, even while Mr. Singh was trying to very hardly push his position on his party, let me be very blunt to you, sir. BJP absolutely has no sense here. And with the infighting, with all the drama they've done, and being caught left and center, right and center with black money, all these things, the BJP, and the basic thing is the people of Kerala has always been intelligent enough to be not gullible to the hate rhetoric by the BJP. And that is why, so even the only seats that BJP has ever been possible to win in Kerala, both with Suresh Gopi and with Rajagopal, was never been about party or ideology. So it was always about their celebrities.
Mr. Matthew, you are being very very specific to the kind of records that the history has in fact demonstrated as far as the BJP's strength in Wayanad is considered. But when we talk about the time which we are living right now, as we have also heard right in morning from our colleagues who are on the ground, who have brought us the voice that now Wayanad is looking for a change, as in fact every election people do hope for, and which is a point which I would like to ask Mr. Singh over, that do you feel considerably the BJP's participation right now, banking with the councillor Navya Haridas, is going to get them an edge, especially when the voters are looking for a change?
I don't think the BJP is winning this seat right now, to be very honest. And when I say that the BJP, 13% vote share is not something that can be ignored. There, you have to understand that they got more than 1.5 lakh votes in this constituency, where Rahul Gandhi had won last time, and even this time their vote share has increased. So ruling out, I don't know, but in politics, ruling out anyone is as foolish as one can be. But let me be very frank, I don't think the BJP is winning. Priyanka Gandhi does have an edge, and IUML does have an MLA over there. If you see the rally, the videos that came out over there, you hardly saw one or two Congress flags over there, but most of the flags that belonged were to IUML. I don't like pinpointing to anyone. But the problem over here is Mr. Kevin Matthew Sunny said that it is a Tipu's bastion, the same Tipu Sultan about whom there are multiple stories and who participated in what freedom struggle and what not. I don't want to get into that because there are multiple research done on that, how much who did for what freedom struggle.
There
If we
is
can
history
answer,
and then there is the stories that you are trying to push.
listen, Mr. Kevin, let's be civil. I don't interrupt when people talk. That is basic civility, and that is the right that has been given to me by the Constitution,
Sorry.
of which you do not, which you and your political party doesn't like. That is the reason in Maharashtra, the Congress, which leads the India Alliance, when they had to distribute the Constitution, they distributed empty Constitution booklets because they know that they want to rewrite the Constitution. They want to rewrite everything. They hated Baba Sahib Ambedkar to an extent that they saw that he gets defeated in his election. So please don't teach me about freedom struggle. Don't teach me about history and how history has been written. The same Tipu Sultan who massacred lakhs of Hindus in your southern part is your idol. The same Aurangzeb over here is praised by your leaders who massacred Hindus, who burned down temples, who destroyed temples, who tortured Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj.
Sir,
for
when
40
Hindus
days.
were licking the boots of British, when Hindus
It's
were
not,
licking the
it's
boots
not,
of British, when
to
the
both my
Arabs were
guests,
licking
it's
the boots of
actually
British.
not about
Eight
what
second,
exactly
eight
has
second,
been the
8 second.
sentiment on a
Simran,
national
Simran,
level.
Simran,
Yes.
Let's
Simran,
get
Simran.
to
Let us
the
not
point.
take it there.
Let's get to the point.
Simran, sorry to say, but whatever Kevin Matthew Sunny's religion is, I never talk about anyone's religion. None of the Hindus were licking the boot of
That is
any
not
British.
even the subject that we are talking about right now.
He said it.
No,
He
no.
has to
Let's
take it
get
back.
to the
He said
point
it. No,
here
no. Simran,
about
Simran,
what's
Simran,
the
Simran.
situation
Simran,
at
let's
the
not take
present.
Hindus
To
lightly.
both my
Let's
guests,
not-
Mr.
no,
Singh
no,
and Mr.
Simran,
Matthew.
Simran.
Okay, fine. Okay. Let me try to give you a point so that you can make, you both can make a significant point that you're trying to make. Mr. Singh, give me a second. Okay. So when we talk about Wayanad, which we specifically are only focusing at this point of time, it is not about the religion. There have been different people of belonging to different faiths in Wayanad, but when we talk about the change, which I asked you about, it is not about which religion is going to focus
Simran,
and jump the ship to which other party for the religion sake.
Simran, for the sake of freedom over here, you have to tell the person sitting over there to apologize for insulting Hindus. He said Hindus were licking the boots of Britishers. What does he mean by
Nobody
saying that?
nobody's a
He said
political
it.
spokesperson
He
here.
said it.
Then
Whatever nonsense.
to
Arey
whatever
Baba, Simran,
to whatever
Simran,
the thoughts and
Simran,
opinions
I
are.
don't care. No. So you agree, Simran, that Hindus were licking the boots of Britishers?
He has
Is
made
this
a point. We will
he
come
said
back
it.
to it later.
No,
Mr.
no,
Singh,
no,
no.
Please, Simran,
Listen.
this is not how. Listen,
Because we are not
Hindus
talking
have
about
been,
anything that
we
he has
Hindus have
mentioned.
been
We can
hammered like
go
this
on
all
with whatever.
year because people like you let this
All right.
let such comment.
All right. Now, Mr. Matthew, as we begin.
Simran, before I go, I can't be part of such debate where you are allowing someone to insult Hindus.
There's no debate happening here.
No,
The
no,
part
no. He
that you're
said
missing
it.
actually is
He
the
made-
point that there's no
forget it.
debate happening.
How could he say Hindus
And your
are licking
intention to
boot?
make this into a debate is not
Please.
going to help you speak further.
Madam, let me be very clear. I've been a journalist for 20 years. Nobody can insult Hindus like this because people like you are allowing it. I can't be part of such debate. Thank you for
There
having
is
me.
there is no intention in adding to what. Okay, all right, Mr. Matthew. Now that we are in fact talking about what has categorically behind the loss of the parties in Wayanad, how do you see, in fact, at this point of time, especially going ahead for the Congress? Do they significantly hold an edge, especially after they decided to get this entire poll battle for Priyanka Gandhi as a debut?
So yes, Simran, it is Wayanad is a Congress bastion, but there are two things at play here. One thing, the CPI candidate. See, I don't belong to any political party, so as you very well know, and I'm an independent observer. But one thing is that the CPI candidate, Mr. Mukherjee, he is somebody who is from the region, who has a lot of influence among the people. So this is there on one side. So even the last election when Ani Raja came in against Mr. Rahul Gandhi, so that was quite because she was, even though she belongs to the region, she was not somebody who's active here. But with Mukherjee this time, Mr. Mukherjee this time, so you have a candidate who's actually very much active at the grassroots level. So that is going to be in his favor, and also for the fact that Rahul Gandhi chose to, lose his candidacy in Wayanad and get Priyanka Gandhi to debut here. This is also, let's see, because the people of Kerala has always been a little bit more politically aware. And henceforth, what has happened is like there is always this sentiment. So there's the sentiment towards, okay, are we being used? So this is also there. This is something I've seen in the ground level while I have also interacted with people here because I belong to the region. So I live neighboring this constituency, and I used to work in this constituency. So this is one thing that I've seen with all my interactions with the people here. That there is this sentiment against the Congress and Priyanka Gandhi, but still there's also a lot of loyalty to the Congress party. So I think this is still going to be a easy win for the Congress, even though there's going to be a little bit of, you can see, I would probably predict that a little bit of vote share for the CPI goes up, probably.
Right. What you're expecting is something that remains to be seen in just days to come, when in fact the results will be out.
It should be somewhere similar to the 2019 elections. So BJP picking up somewhere around less than 7 or 8%, Congress picking up around 50 percentage or 55 odd percentage, and the rest
Well,
being
that's
picked up
a
by the
significant
CPI.
number that we are in fact eyeing at. Mr. Matthew, thank you for speaking to us and giving us your time. I believe we expect you even more further now. Now, the viewers, that was all the news of the nation and the world. We'll continue to track all the developments very closely. Till then, stay with us.
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com.